Hello and welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. I'm your host, Cedric Kennedy, and I want to talk about Texas and the money grabbing. You know, okay, winter storm, polar vortex slams Texas or Tejas, and what it did was what it do. It's cold, ice, snow, high winds, making it colder. So, for 10 years, Tejas's government officials and whatnot, power company, it's their own power company, and they knew to winterize the equipment, but they never did. They had a decade, 10 years to winterize it. Listening to Jim Cornette earlier, I didn't know it because I didn't even think about it. Common sense, yeah, I suppose. Reasonable deduction. The Antarctic has windmills. Antarctica has windmills, and they don't freeze because they're winterized. I mean, come on. It's cold and always windy there. And it gets far below freezing there. So, Texas could have done it. They didn't. Why? Because it would cost labor money. People want to get paid for the stuff that they do. So, instead, they didn't do it. And now that those chickens have come home to roost, people are still without power. And some of that power has been, instead of giving it to certain roads and communities and cul-de-sacs, they gave it to the wealthier people, the people that can afford it. There's a lesson in all of this. Actually, there's a couple of lessons. See, what they did was they said, we're going to jack up your bill. It's going to be astronomical, where your bill might be $200 or $300 for that month. It's going to be $6,000, $13,000, $16,000. There was a $77,000 one. And if you don't pay it, you're done. You're gone. I'd heard about this a few times. Then I heard Farron Cousins, Ring of Fire. He went over it. And right before that, I heard Dusty Smith go over it. I didn't listen to it when he was live. I listened to it later. And I was hearing about this before I watched those podcasts and whatnot. And I thought, wow. So you got to pay it or you're getting nothing. You're going to just be without power. Just think about this. They raised the price that high, that quick, simply because they could. What choice do you have? Do you want power during these last cold weeks? Maybe it might last for another month and a half. But do you want power? Don't you need heat? You're going to pay it. I mean, it sounds almost like a protection racket. We can keep you warm. You just got to pay us to not turn off your heat. A little bit of extortion, But they did it because they could. Did they need this money? No. Were they hurting for money? No. But you got to pay this what you're not needed to pay. Because it didn't have to happen. It's almost like it's baked into the cake. If it's not winterized, it's almost like they had this plan from the get-go. If you want a conspiracy theory, Republicans, Democrats, and whoever else, this would be it. Don't protect it. Let it go awry. And when people need your help, jack up the bill, they got to pay it. But hey, I got good news for you. Here's good news. See, what might happen is because these are Republicans doing this. Republicans. So what do? Well, I mean, right now, the first thing is, well, I guess I'll just leave the Republican Party. But what else can they do? They don't have to pay the bill. You know what else they can do? Because some of these bills are literally more than 10% of the cost of their home. Some are in the 30 and 40% cost of their whole home. Some could buy a whole used car twice with this money. the money that they don't have in the first place. But you know what don't take so much money, at least that much? They can move, they can leave, they can go somewhere else, they can get to another state, they can travel out of Texas, out of Tejas. Because Tejas, if you want to know, everybody, you know what happened? Capitalism. You don't want to admit it, you don't want to like it. I get that, I understand that. But capitalism is also about capitalizing on a situation. It's also that they can charge what they want. It's the free market, right? They can charge what they want. It's their freedom. It's their choice. You can't complain. You can't complain, because if you're all about freedom and you're all about, hey, somebody wants to make money. See, the problem is they're making money off you and you don't like that. But you can still move, still leave. Final bit I'll say. What's that term? What's that phrase? What's the coin thing? America. Love it or leave it. Basically, it says you are where you are. They're doing what they're doing. You need to love what's happening to you or get out the country. Make a choice. Stay there and freeze. Children have frozen, died, hypothermia. Adults, elderly, pets, dying, hypothermia. No food, no water. People trying to keep warm desperately. Burning, their houses burned down. You know, this is what's happened. You can love what's happening or you can leave it. If you don't like this being thrown in your face, then initially don't throw it in somebody else's face. If you are someone who has not said this or believed in this, this don't apply to you. But you can still leave. You can still get up out of there. That's your choice. Make you a hypocrite, but it won't make you a hypocrite if you leave and stop saying such rhetoric. That will not make you a hypocrite. That will make you evolve. It'll make you better. That's what it'll do. So, Tejas. Pack your bags and leave. Leave. Find where that power grid isn't and move to a different power grid area. Y'all got the money. It's Texas. Y'all got the money to move. You know, if your car costs $9,000 but the damages are worth $14,000, do you really want to fix that or do you want to leave it? Leave the home, move out, go somewhere else. Save yourself. That's my opinion. Those are my thoughts. I'm not here nor there with these thoughts. I just know that your words, your phrases hold some truth to it. And I just hope you either stick to it or do better and abandon it. This has been Sidra Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.